Hey, what's up guys? It's Flex and welcome back. So today I'm gonna show you guys something super unique that I haven't seen done on any 2015 and above W205 C300, C43, or C63 sedan. Today I'm gonna be installing a light bar on the back of the car. And you're probably wondering, how do you install a light bar on the back of this car? Where do you put it? Well, DMP Car Design is launching a new product that will actually take place of the chrome trim that's on the trunk. The install should actually be really clean and it should look OEM, but when you hit the brakes, you're gonna get some really cool lights. I want to thank DMP Car Design for sponsoring this video and providing me with the product. And if you want more information on the product in this video, I'll leave links in the description below. So now let me show you the product and then we'll get to the install. Here is the brand new light bar. As you can see, it looks really nice. It's actually smoked black, but it looks like a glossy black vinyl has been installed. And it's powered up using this cable right here that I'm going to have to run to inside the trunk. And that connects to this harness here. This will plug into one of the taillights, and this will actually go to the fuse box. And then on the other side, I actually lined it with my own double-sided tape so it can stick to the back of the trunk. But before I can go ahead and install the light bar, I need to first remove the stock trim. The stock trim, it's held on by double-sided tape over here and over here. And for the center area, the double-sided tape is all along the top, and then there's actually a bunch of clips on the bottom section here. But before I can remove the trim, I need to first lower this black panel that's on the bottom here. So I'm just going to grab a pry tool and just pry it down. There should be about 3 or 4 clips holding it into place. Now I can go ahead and heat up the trim with a heat gun. And then I'll use some fishing string to saw away at the double-sided tape. And I'll repeat the same process for the other side. I'm going to start heating up the center trim area. And now I'm going to use a trim removal tool to kind of cut away at the double-sided tape behind the top section of the trim. As you can see, these are the clips on the bottom of the trim, and then there's the double-sided tape on the top section. Now I'm stuck with a bunch of old double-sided tape that I'm going to have to remove before I can go ahead and install the brand new light bar. Now that it's clean using some isopropyl alcohol, I can go ahead and install the light bar. So to run the wire, you see this orange clip right here that goes in a hole. I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to pop it right off. And now I'm going to take the end of the wire and I'm just going to route it up through the hole where that clip used to go into. Now I'm going to pull down on the trunk liner and I'm going to try to pull that wire through. And while I'm pulling it through, I'm going to feed it from the other side. So once that's done, I can go ahead and push the black cover back onto the trunk and clip it into place. And now I'm just going to take the wires and route it along the trunk liner all the way down to inside the trunk. Here is the wire from the trunk light, and here is the wiring harness. I'm going to start by connecting them together. And this blue connection for the tail light, it actually can be installed in two ways. The first way is if I had a tail light that had a small connector like this, I can just simply plug it into the harness and plug the other end into the tail light. However, my taillights use a completely different connector. Here's a connector. It's long and it's flat, so what I'm going to need to do is tap the back wires of the connector here before I can go ahead and plug it back to the taillight. So with the harness, I'm going to go ahead and cut the wires right here, and then I should have 4 wires that I can splice into the taillight. Here are the 4 wires coming out of the harness, and each of these will go to a specific wire on the back of the connector. So what I did was I took the white and spliced into the gray with yellow stripe wire. I took the brown and spliced into the brown wire. I took the green with black stripe and connected to the black with green stripe. And I took the black with the white stripe and connected it to the green with the brown stripe wire. As you can see, here are the wires I spliced into the connector and I plugged it back to my tail light. Now let's focus on this red wire here. So this red wire actually requires constant power from the fuse box. So I'm just going to lift up the trunk cover. And I'm going to have to connect the red wire to this section right here. So this section here is all constant power. But before I can stick the red wire in there, I need to first attach it to a fuse tap. So here's the fuse tap I bought online. It's connected to the red wire. On the other side, I have a 20 amp fuse on the bottom section and a 15 amp fuse on the top section. And now this whole thing works just like a fuse. I can go ahead and stick it right into this section here. It should pop in just like a fuse. And I just want to make sure the wire is on this side right here. And that's it. Now I can reconnect the car battery and test out the light bar. Here's how it works during the daytime. I'm going to unlock the car. And while the car is started, here's what it looks like when I brake. And here's how it looks when I lock the car. At night, it operates a little differently. I'm going to unlock the car. And when I start the car and hit the brake pedal, the light bar actually brightens up a little more than it normally is lit. And then what's really cool is when I hit reverse, the side lights actually blink, and it's a good way to warn people that I'm backing up the vehicle. And lastly, this is how it looks when I lock the car at night. Well, there you have it, a really easy install, and it looks super unique. And even when the car is parked and there's no light, it looks like a nice chrome trim that's been wrapped in gloss black. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, hit like below. As always, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.